Well, if you've been paying attention at all, you probably noticed that lighting innovations are coming almost daily. The application here involves placing lighting where normally lighting would not be in your average application. There are quite a few places where you need light, sometimes temporary light, and there's simply no way to get it there when you start having to wire things in. Here's one of those innovating little new products that specifically tries to address those applications where lighting ordinarily would not be without extensive electrical work, but you still need lighting there for a task that may come up in this area. Sometimes battery operated lighting is the best choice, especially when it comes to cost. The only problem you get into here is that periodically you do have to go back and recharge the light. This particular application makes use of a docking station, a remote control, and 3 separate and independent lights. Each light here can be operated on its own, independent of the other 2, or as a group switched unit. The docking station allows for both multiple light recharging as well as a place to store and hold your lights when they're not in use. Each individual light can be charged by itself. It has its own Type C USB connection on the bottom, or you can charge them all through a joint USB-C connection to the docking station. As you can see here, what you get are the 3 independent lights, a USB Type A to Type C charging cable, the docking station, and the remote control. Also included in the packaging are 2 batteries for the remote control. The Type A to Type C charging cable is right at 31.5 inches long, or 80 centimeters. As I indicated before, each light can be charged independently of the other lights through a USB Type C connection on the bottom of the light, or in the docking station using the pin connectors in the bottom of the docking station. It does not make use in the docking station of the USB-C port, so you're not plugging and unplugging that one. That is a bonus for this application, that you don't have to worry about wearing out that USB-C port unless you just want to charge each light independently. Each light has 2 magnets. The magnets are actually in the light and not in the attaching pads. The advantage here, of course, is any surface that would normally be subject to a magnet, the light can be attached to. Each light has 2 mounting pads that are steel, and behind the steel is an adhesive peel and stick type surface that you could mount to virtually any surface you wanted to have the light mate to. To charge the lights, all you really need to do is connect up a USB cable to the docking station and drop each of the 3 lights into the charging station. For charging, the switch end is up and the USB side is down. There are 2 metal pins at the bottom of each light which mate to the mating pins for the lights to be charged. We're going to look at the little instruction sheet that comes with the lights here shortly, but be advised that for charging purposes, the switches on the light should be in the off position. Okay, let's take a look at this little instruction sheet. Motion detection range, 0 to 16 feet. Illumination, 300 square feet. Taking that's per light, but it doesn't really say. Automated shut-off, approximately 25 seconds after motion senses. And again, yes, these lights are motion sensitive. When you first turn the manual switch on each light on, the unit comes on in full on mode, in this case meaning cool white. The light will remember where it is as far as your programming as long as you don't manually switch the light off. The remote control can turn the light on and off, and the settings that the light was programmed with will remain. Now your initial on is in constant on, and the light will stay on until the battery is depleted. You also have a night sensing mode, where the light will only come on in darkness situations, or a full on motion sensing mode, where the light will come on whenever motion is detected. The unit itself comes with 15 separate lighting colors that you can select, In the case of the white light, you get cool white, which basically is like daylight, warm white, which is a low-level light, and natural white. RGB, of course, is programming the separate colors. You can adjust your brightness 100%, 75%, 50%, or 25%. The light also comes with two timer modes. It will automatically turn off after 30 minutes or after 60 minutes. You also can have lightning flash options with the unit. We'll look at these a little bit later. Some additional considerations. Obviously, the manual light switch on the light must be on before you can use the remote control. If you turn the switch off, you erase all your programming and you start back from the basics again. As with all remote control devices using a photoelectric interface, this one works better when the lighting is more dim. It may not work too well if you're in bright sunlight. The constant on mode for any individual light is good for about 4 hours of battery life. Okay, let's take a look at the remote control that comes with it. On off, pretty much self-explanatory. Again, the light must be manually turned on with the switch on the light before you can use remote control. The up down arrows at the top allow you to go through your 4 different levels of lighting. When the light briefly turns on and turns back off, when you're pressing these buttons, you've reached the limits of your adjustment. 30 minutes if the light's in on position, turns light off 30 minutes. 60, same thing, turns off in 60 minutes. The star on the left indicates motion sensitivity in all light conditions. The middle moon indicator indicates you put it in motion sensitivity only in dark situations. The P/W switch is indicated as CCT on the actual instruction sheet. This allows you to change the white light colors in the 3 programmed modes. The 12 buttons on the lower left allow you to select one of 12 different colors for each individual light by selecting that button. The 4 buttons, smooth, fade, flash, and strobe, allow you to cycle the light through all of its 15 separate colors using the following connections as you select these buttons. Any one of these 4 modes uses all of the light colors as it cycles through, the 3 separate white colors as well as the 12 separate actual colored buttons. The red light on the docking station indicates that the docking station is plugged in and receiving power. It does not change color. When the lights are in their docking station, they glow red, indicating that they're not fully charged. When the lights are fully charged, they change color from red to this green, and this means all 3 lights are fully charged and ready to use. In this shot, I've simply taken the metal mounting pads off the back of the light to show the magnet locations. I'm pretty sure I heard one of you say, well, how strong is a magnet? In this case, I've got a combination wrench. It's a 5/16 end, or about 8 millimeters for you folks out there in the metric system. And as you see, it plainly holds the light in place and I can move the light around with just a wrench. Okay, let's take a look at some applications. In this case, I've got the light mounted up underneath the cabinet, and I'm using the color buttons to change the colors of the light. This is an application that for me I'm probably going to wind up using. Having to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, last thing you want to do is pop on a bright light, which of course is going to completely wipe out your night vision and would tend to make it harder for you to go back to sleep. The only light in the room is the one light itself, and I'm cycling it through using these 4 separate buttons that adjust the way the light turns on and turns off and goes from color to color. So this way you get a chance to take a look and see what the light looks like as the light goes through these 4 separate modes that you can change the light colors. I started first with smooth, then with fade, finally with flash and strobe. So in this case you can take a look and you can see all the colors that are available and what they look like in a monochromatic environment where just the light itself is doing the actual illumination. The color changes that you're seeing and the period for which they occur are actually in real time. I have not altered the speed of the video. This is actually what you would get if you decided you want to manually cycle the light through its smooth, fade, flash, and strobe modes. Again, there's no way just to select just white light to do this. It's going to cycle through all the colors. Now, before I get any more applications, let's take a look at the individual lights and the buttons at the top of each light. The one on the left allows you to adjust your light intensity, 100%, 75%, 50%, or 25%, or obviously off. The one on the right allows you to select constant on, motion on for low light levels, and constant motion for all light levels. The 7 little holes you see at the top of the light are indicator LEDs, which show what particular mode or position the light itself is in, and they will be on when the light is on. Here's another fun little application for those of you who like customizing a lighting in your favorite automobile. In this case, I've got one light mounted up underneath the dash, and it's shining directly down. It's close enough where the remote control can change the colors, and I'm manually going through changing the colors of the light. As you can see, this creates an interesting lighting effect, and I'm sure your significant other will definitely be impressed with what you can do with your car with a remote control. So yeah, this is another application. Obviously you can do this anywhere. You can put it in the cabinets in your house, you can put it in the bedroom, whatever. If you want to go ahead and change the lighting in your one particular room, car, truck, whatever the case may be, this is an excellent application for it. You can put these any place that you can find steel to mount them against. Well, that about wraps this one up. Hope you found this video both interesting and useful. If you did, please consider giving me a like. It definitely helps the YouTube algorithms. And definitely consider subscribing. I'm going to get back into these now that the wife's got over her medical difficulties. If you'd like to get your hands on one of these interesting little devices, the link is in the description. Make sure you check it out if you think that's something you might want to get hold of. As for the rest of the video, if you're interested, I'm going to go ahead and place 3 lights around one of the living areas in the house, and I'll manually go through and switch them into the different modes and the different colors. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.